Dr. Laura is on right now.
Hey,
Hi,
Dr. Laura.
Hi, guys. Okay. Douglas, how old are you?
I am 45.
Emily?
44.
And how long have you folks been married?
13 years.
Any kids? If so, how many? How old?
2 kids, 8 and 11.
Got it. Okay. We got that out of the way. How can I help?
Yeah, Dr. Laura, we've been having challenges in our marriage. I think I'm the source of a lot of the challenge in that I am, I think, avoidant of conflict and very much, I think, resentful of some boundaries that Katie is, or Emily's put in place.
Yeah, there are no boundaries. You don't put boundaries in place for anything but cattle, Emily. If you told him there's something you don't want him to do, that's not a boundary. That's an order. But let's go on. So, Douglas, what have you been doing that Emily is trying to curtail?
I have spoken with my mom about our relationship in a way that was out of line. I'm complaining to now stop talking to my parents completely, but I think did a lot of damage that way.
Well, how did that damage your marriage?
I think 2 ways. One, I think it broke trust with Katie or with Emily, and has really caused our relationship.
Okay, I understand what you said. You told your mother off and had a bad circumstance with your mother. Well, how did that piss off your wife?
My wife is still believes that I want to rebuild the relationship with my mother more than rebuild the relationship with her, which I haven't spoken to my parents in a year, but she believes it's more of a compliance of me trying to do something than a heart change. And so I'm feeling stuck on how to prove my love for her and regain trust.
Well, what did you do that to your mother or for your mother that blew your trust with your wife? What was your wife unhappy about that showed a lack of trusting you with something to do with your mother? Help me understand that part.
Yeah. It happened over a series of events, but I confided in some of my complaints in the marriage to my mother, which was,
Lordy be.
And something I regret significantly.
How did your wife find out? Did your mother do something bad to let her know?
My mother has done things that are bad. Directly and directly with Emily in terms of really just treating her as not a cherished member of the family, but more of...
And how soon after you were married did your mother start this?
Probably with first year or 2.
So I have 2 questions to ask, one of each of you, all right? Since I now know you're using different names, I'm just going to call you the names you asked to be called by. Okay. Katie, so I need 1 sentence response. Okay. Since his mother started in on you right after the wedding, why did you stay in the marriage when you saw he wasn't protecting you? Which I think you could have told already when you were dating. So what kept you around? And the reason I'm asking this, I still want you to answer the question, but the reason I'm asking this is a lot of women stay in situations and then 20 years later still bitch about it when they had different opportunity. So then the guy becomes the total problem when you hung around for this. So tell me why you hung around for this right after the wedding to be mistreated by his mother.
I missed red flags. I wish I had been listening to you.
Well, he said within a year you were already taking crap from her. That you couldn't miss that red flag.
Yes, it actually happened before we even got married.
Well, my question, don't tell me you didn't see a red flag. Come on. It's not true.
I missed it.
Okay.
I didn't give it enough value.
Okay.
I'm
well,
sorry.
then, since you let it happen, you have to take some responsibility for this. So we can't put it all on him.
Okay.
Now.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Douglas, when your mother started in on her, how come you didn't blow your mother out of the water then? Unless you passed out, I need you to talk.
Yeah. I'm thinking I think there's a fear of angering my mother that I probably hold deep inside that I was worried about.
Okay. Well, then, see, your wife has, until a year ago, when you cut your mother out, and I want to say a few things about that. So, Emily, what he said you're thinking, it's good I have a reasonable memory. What he said that you're thinking is that he really wants to repair the relationship with his mother. Of course he does. Everybody wants a better relationship with their mothers. Everybody does. That's normal, even if the mother is a serial killer. People like their mommies to love them, like them, and want them. I mean, they come out of their mommies' bellies. Come on. That's a hard thing to give up. Okay? But he hasn't done it for a year.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been bitching for a year. So he's done his part. It's about time you stop bitching. You married knowing that that relationship was a problem. And you deny it by saying, I didn't notice the red flag. That's nonsense. But most young women like to ignore anything except their desires. So he did what you asked, even though it pains him terribly and would like nothing more than to have a good relationship with his mom. But he can't because she's slightly evil. She's destructive.
Well,
let me finish.
But there's
Let me
things.
finish. I know there are, I don't live with you guys, so I know there are always stuff. But if for a year he says, unless you tell me he's lying, that he has had no contact, then he's done what you asked. You can't ask him to change his heart. His heart would love to have his mommy. Your heart would love to have your mommy. My love would love to have a mommy. That's normal. So the fact that he put that aside and is living with some pain and loss ought to be something you compliment, nourish, instead of threatening him with, I don't trust. There's a difference between what is in his heart and what he'd like and what he does for you, because he's committed to you. And I'm a little bit out of time, so I'm going to leave that with the last thought. You cannot dictate what's in somebody's heart. And you cannot continue to bitch about something they've remedied, even if not in their heart. So we can't control that as easily. But he's ultimately done what a man is supposed to do, and that's protect. It took him a couple of decades, but he's doing it. So you have to take some responsibility for you walked into the valley of the shadow. So don't make it sound like you're a victim. You're not. So, since you have minor kids and you are married, and I'm suggesting and imagining that you want to keep all that intact, appreciate what he's done. It hasn't been easy for him. Download the Dr. Laura Call of the Day and Dr. Laura's Deep Dive podcasts on my website, drlaura.com, the SiriusXM app, or wherever you listen to podcasts.